Good evening. I'm Pamela Delau, the director of the Bach Institute, and I'm really thrilled to welcome you all to our fourth public event of our 2026 Institute. Tonight, we're going to hear our fellows in their ensembles, the music that they're preparing to perform on Sunday evening, being led in a masterclass setting by our illustrious principal flutist of the Emmanuel Music Orchestra, and also our cherished executive director, Vanessa Holroyd. Please welcome Vanessa and the fellows of the 2026 Institute.
Thank you all. So our microphones that we have are for the live stream, but if anyone cannot hear me, just let me know, but I figured with such an intimate crowd, we didn't need it. So why don't we bring up, 248-15? Go ahead, that would be great. I think that's the first one that we have. So this is not a masterclass in the traditional format. We're not usually in this sort of format. People would bring in a solo work, and we'd sort of have a public private lesson. So we'd sort of do a coaching on the piece. But we thought it might be interesting, not only for the fellows that have not maybe been watching closely the rehearsals of the arias that they do not play in, but also for our guests that are coming to the event and that are watching on the live stream, to sort of show what our process has been during this institute. All the groups have, I think, three coachings. And the first coaching is kind of an exploratory coaching. Everybody just met each other for the first time, other than people that go to school together, last week. And so there's sort of an exploratory session, and then there's a session where we kind of go a little deeper. We think about all the different decisions we can make about how the music is played, different articulations, dynamics. And then when we get to the last coaching, it's kind of like, okay, what do we keep? What do we jettison? What are we going to put in the performance? So it's a really amazing way to study this music, as opposed to being maybe in school where you might study a piece over the course of an entire semester and maybe just do one rehearsal a week for the whole semester. There's something magical that happens when you can see everybody every day and really focus on things. So everybody's all on this side. Is that how you're performing?
No, this sandwich is here.
Oh no, you make it your own. Sorry. So at this point, they've all had hours and hours of coaching. And so I'm not going to throw them a whole other set of ideas. What I feel like at this point, with their dress rehearsal tomorrow and their performance on Sunday, now it's kind of liberating them from coaching mode. It's liberating them from, oh my gosh, I'm being hit with information, acoustics, information, and I need to take it all in and I need to take notes. Now is the time when we have to kind of get into performance mode and figure out, marinate on what's been said, and then focus on what this ensemble is going to do for this performance. And you can, so that we're not over analytical, because I think sometimes if we get coached to death, then we go into performance feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm thinking. We haven't been coached to death. I'm just going to say that. But I'm saying, when you've had this much coaching by wonderful coaches, you can get really in your head, right? Because you're constantly thinking about wait, Pamela said this, and then Ryan said this, and I've got to do this, and I've got to do that. And then you go into the performance and you can't be free and just take risks and let it go out. Who cares if you do even sort of half of the things? This is really not about aiming towards the perfect performance and incorporating everything that's been discussed. It's a workshop. It's where we explore and we try different things, and then we just showcase where we are in the process at this point. If you came the week after, the concert would sound totally different, So I think it's a really exciting thing, and it's an important thing to remember that perfection and incorporating everything really isn't the goal. So this piece is from the Christmas Oratorio for anyone that joined us for our performance of it in December. I do not speak German. I'm a terrible German speaker, and I'm not going to try to pronounce it, but is the tenor aria from the second of the cantata in the 6 cantata series of the Christmas Oratorio. And I would love Opal to say the text so that everybody knows what the translation is. We may have it or not. And then I'd love you to just play it all the way through. Okay?
Joyful shepherds, hurry. Hurry in case you linger too long. Hurry to see the lovely child. Go, this joy is too beautiful. Seek to gain that loveliness. Go and refresh your heart and soul.
So you all they just performed this actually last night at LaSalle Village for a community. So I'm just curious to know how this performance felt compared to last night's performance.
Yeah, I mean, a few things are different. A different room, different keyboard as well. Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is a bit more of a relaxed performance, kind of on the back end a little bit slower, but also I think maybe more expressive, kind of between the bar.
Yeah.
So it's quite nice.
How was it for Continuo Trio over there?
Well, especially.
Oh, do they need to speak into the? It's mainly for the live stream so people can hear you. Yeah, you won't be amplified.
Continuous then.
That's right.
Especially on a time frame like this, every time we perform it and just play together, it feels like we know each other a lot better than the last time. And so I feel like we all felt just increasingly comfortable every time we play this. And yeah, it feels like there's a lot of trust now in just being really aware of each other and kind of being able to take more freedom and expression because of that too.
Do you have thoughts from the flute chair? How did it feel tonight? Oh yeah. Flip the switch on the microphone. It's okay, it'll come through on the video, so you just talk normally.
I think it's more relaxed.
This is more relaxed.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah. And the reason is, the tempo is like more peace to it.
I agree. I think it sounds fabulous. It sounds beautiful. And I love, you really are gelling, having heard you sort of in the beginning. You can just put it on the floor if you want. I do think that it feels, this is one of those arias that I think can be, it has a whole range of tempi that tenors like to take it. This is definitely on the sort of slower side. I think it works at this tempo and it's really beautiful, but to be honest, it did sound relaxed and comfortable, and that is great, except that the text has a slight sense of urgency. I think you can, urgency, not a negative, but like, I'm so excited to see this baby that you need to come with me now. And it doesn't have to be like, or something terrible is going to happen to you, that kind of urgency. It's more like, I'm so delighted and I'm so filled with this. So it can be at this tempo, but I think the danger in having this luxury of being able to play together every single day is that then it gets kind of comfortable. I'd love to do something that I've been dying to do all week, just because we're here. I want to put you literally right next to each other and have that energy, because I just feel like there's something like this, like together, because this is a unit, like, you know what I mean? You're having a dialogue with each other, and there's something thrilling about being that close to a singer. I'm not sure it's as thrilling to be that close to a flute player, but it's super thrilling to be next to a singer. So if we want to, and actually, you know what? Because let's all get together in like a little cluster. Yeah, here we go. Yeah. Okay. Just like, I don't know, start it, and then I'll stop you at some point. you know it so well now, right? That you can look up and communicate a little bit. I think when you do perform it, just trying to keep that. I'd love to do a little bit of the kind of gnarly stuff that gets fast. And then I want to talk about some continuous stuff first. So why don't we do it from, let's see, where do things start to cook? Like 80, or maybe 16. Oh, great, yeah. So why not, but we don't have to start right on 69. Where's our place? 64, 65, 66, 67. How about that? 67? Is that okay? How does that feel being that close when that's happening?
It's something easier to take kind of the phrasing and articulation notes, definitely.
You think it's too close? Well, of course. I mean, I'm not saying you're going to perform like this. I'm just saying that there's something to be gained from like really getting together and hearing it from that vantage point, right? Because sometimes we just get in our space and we forget how things interact. So no, you're not going to perform like this, but I just think it's really important to try it. There's one part just at the end, and then I want to do two more things. Maybe just da 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 bum bum. So maybe like 107, like right before 107. Where are we? Okay. Give to each other, give to him, give to them as much as they're giving to you. So da 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 dum bum bum bum. That's a hand off da 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 dum bum bum bum. It's not, da 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 dum bum bum bum. You're not in your own world. It's a dialogue going back and forth. That's great. So you can move back to your spot where you're comfortable. So one thing that I thought was really interesting is that when we first started doing this, we thought about not including bass. And the part is called Verpitzing, but we thought, well, if we don't have bass, then it doesn't have quite the depth that we might need. So I'd love if you could just try, the very first time we played this, you were bowing, right? And we didn't have bass. So I'd love to just have people hear what that sounds like. Sorry, it means doing the opening yet again, but yeah, we'll just do a little bit. So show of hands, did you like the first version or the second version better? This is the first version. Oh, nice. Okay. Second version? Interesting. But I love But that's the beauty of it, right? Is that you can make these choices and they're both right. It's not like you can make really a wrong decision. It's just a different choice for a performance. So when you coach it, you can tell them to do the other way. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. You can make that choice. So the only other thing I would get before we sort of move on to the next aria is, and I'm sorry it doesn't totally involve you all the time, but so I feel like there needs to be a difference in character between the material at the beginning, the material that leads into the B section, and then the ending, right? Because, and I think you have to have that narrative. This is one of the most, if the only sort of really programmatic aria in the Christmas oratory. It tells the story. It's actually literally, come taking action. So I want you to play the beginning one more time, and then I want you to skip to, let's see, where it leads into the B section. Maybe measure 8, where am I here? 58, 59, 60, 61. So we'll do the beginning, and then we'll do 61, and then we'll do the ending, okay? So right from the beginning, just a little bit. And come in if you don't mind when you come in. Okay, and now let's play the ending from where do we want to go? 124? 124. Great. So to my ears, and that doesn't have to be the only ears that are making decisions, the last time almost feels more like a beginning than the beginning did. And I sort of feel like the ending needs to, it's not a full meal. It's just the ending of something, almost as if like the shepherd is going off into the distance. I think it can be a little bit less, hey, I'm back, but more like the tail end of the vocal line. So could you just play the opening and then the ending to have that contrast? Okay, so just play the opening very, confidently, like you just did for the ending. Play the opening, like tom ti da 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 dum pum pi, nice and strong. And now let's start at 124, but imagine that you're just a little farther away from things. The sound is a little farther away. You're ending, yum, be da 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 dum. It's almost like the memory of the beginning, just a little quieter. It's just a question of like really having, this is the time when you lean into the decisions that you've made, right? And you sell what you've got, right? Because it's good, it's going to be beautiful. But I think you really have to be intentional with everything that you're doing, because the danger at this point is to get complacent and comfortable. You could play this now in your sleep. You've played it so much. So keep it fresh and keep it engaged, and make sure even at this relaxed tempo, you're really bringing to life the text on the page about the joy and the sense of urgency. Good? Yay! All right. So, okay. So I think we can clear for 68. Is that right? Or is someone in the bathroom?
68.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions while the other group is sort of getting set up? Anyone? No? Just. Oh. Far away from each other. I'm wondering if we can bring things in just a little bit. Even you, my dear. Is that okay? Yeah, that feels a little better. Good. Great. Lydia, would you like to just say the text and what we're doing?
Yeah, so the English translation.
Do we need the
Hello,
mic or is it?
English translation. Do I need a mic?
Yeah, probably better. Maybe the wireless is better just because then
Yeah.
No, I'll have it just on hand. Yeah. Is this something that we turn on? Is this on? Great.
Hello? Okay. My faithful heart, delight, sing, play. Your Jesus is here. Away with sorrow, away with lamenting. I will only say to you, my Jesus is near.
That's fine. So this features the piccolo cello, which originally would have had, and this is where I'm going to start to sound like I'm not sure what I'm talking about. The original piccolo cello would have had 5 strings, right? It would have had an upper string. So it's always very impressive when a cellist plays it on just the 4 strings. And I wonder, actually, if you could just tell us a little bit, Cheyenne, about your journey on your instrument just before we start, since it really is such a solo part, about what you went through to have the setup that you have right now.
Well,
And you have to speak loudly because that's just for the
yeah, my teacher voice. Okay, so
teaching voice.
I am from Oklahoma, and so I flew here. When you fly with a large instrument like this, your options are to check it and it get damaged, or to buy it a seat. And I had my viola da gamba and my cello. Those are the 2 instruments I'm playing this week, and so I decided to bring my viola da gamba because it's a little bit strange. Like it's more specific, it's more customized, I guess, to me, and borrow a cello. And so I borrowed one, and it ended up being a student model kind of instrument, and a student bridge, or a student bow, and it made playing this very difficult. Since then, I've gotten a nicer cello from a lovely little shop, and a beautiful loaner bow. And I'm really, really, really grateful for that. It's made things a lot easier. I'm still getting used to it, but it's really made a huge difference in just like the physicality of playing, and it doesn't hurt quite as much.
So you're all hearing the very first performance with this setup, right? Because last night we had the student bow with the nicer cello.
Yeah.
And then before that, we had the student cello with the student bow.
Yeah.
And then before that, you were using a Baroque bow, right?
Yes.
With the modern cello.
Yes.
So fifth time's the charm, right? Exactly. So.
Right now, it's all going to be perfect.
Now, I know this is a workout. Are you okay to play it all the way through? Yeah. Okay, great. Turn it on? No, it's on. It's all good. Okay. So you also performed this last night. Maybe I'll start with you, Chris. How did this feel compared to last night?
Felt really good. I miscounted one thing, but it's fine. Yeah, no, it felt pretty good though. I liked the tempo a lot. It sat well, and I feel like you started really confidently, and it felt really at peace. Everyone felt really just comfortable. So, yeah.
Anybody else have feelings about tonight versus last night? Feeling comfortable? Getting a lot of comfortable. That's good. Which is good. Comfortable's good. So I'd love to hear, what are some of the, like you've had coachings, what are some of the things that you've been incorporating from the coachings? What are some of the decisions and some of the things that you have taken that you're sort of thinking about when you're playing? Here, let's go to the other side. I'll go over here. Go ahead.
I've been, as you heard, that tune comes back over and over again, so I've been trying to find ways to not sing it the same every time, since it's basically the same tune and the same text. So yeah, finding ways to vary it with like vocal color and articulation, and then diction, German diction tips from our coaches, trying to work those in too.
And how about as the soloist, sort of what the other soloist in this?
I have to be reminded to feel comfortable being a soloist.
Yeah.
Because I like to be doing that better.
Yeah.
But listening a lot to the singer, when you're doing those reiterations in a different way, like being able to respond to that, being able to not be so wrapped up in my own business that I can listen and react. And I feel like that went better today.
That's great. I don't think you can ever be too much in that role, which I know has been the thing, but I feel like, let us tell you that you need to tone it down, okay. But I don't think that's ever going to be the case. And yeah. It is kind of like you almost have to act a part if it isn't something that's intuitive in yourself. But that, I actually think the fact that you're not, someone that's just vying for the spotlight, I think is going to make it such a beautiful performance, because it means that when you do come out and you play with confidence, it's going to be a warm and inclusive kind of solo, as opposed to one that's just about you. So I think go with your own personality. Don't try to be someone that you're not, but just let us see really who you are, because I think it sounds beautiful, and I think you can be as present, it's their equal parts, if not more, probably spotlighted on you. And then I think, we've talked a little this week about this funny trio sonata that is the second, the ending of the piece, and how there's this playful banter. And I think this is also something, it's beautiful, and you're giving each other a lot. But again, this is this sort of, at this point, we're so comfortable and we know it, we have to kind of pretend that we don't know it as well as we do, and play as if you're discovering each note for the first time, and interrupt each other in a sort of way, bum, 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 bum. You know what's coming, you've played it a million times, but make us feel like you're discovering it anew. And I think that will give some freshness to the performance. I think, on Sunday, we're in the sanctuary. It's a vaster space. There'll be a bigger audience. So, some of that performance energy will sort of kick in. But so you can lean on your comfort. You could play it in your sleep at this point, but use that to make it, a more organic and a more fresher, take. Great. And I think, there's so much going on over here. I think it sounds great. Do you have you spoke for the Continuo last time. Jack, do you want to speak for, and then just, again, that's for the live stream. So just.
My statement for the Continuo, on behalf of the Continuo, is I wonder if we could listen to Shan more. And it would help, I think, to encourage you to play more. I feel like there's sometimes we're apart from you, but I feel like it's working a lot better tonight than it was last night. Not that it was bad, but just I think we're getting closer to locking in, and sorry when we don't follow you, and we'll try to follow you better. That's what I have to say for the Continuo.
Matthew's like, I have nothing to apologize for. No, I'm kidding. So I think, sometimes when we get up here, we're afraid to get physically close. And I know, obviously, with the tenorari, you're not going to be on top of each other like that. But, you go to see string quartets, and they're like on top of each other. Sometimes their stands are touching each other. So there's no need for this. You can really get close and be a unit. It's especially in the sanctuary, where it's a funny acoustic in there. those that have performed in there know what I'm talking about. It feels kind of dead when you're up right on the red carpet up there, but then there's this veneer that happens for the audience. When you're in the audience, it sounds much more reverberant. So when you're there, you have to kind of, I always call it like flying by instruments, even though I'm not a pilot, but it's like, you have to kind of trust the feel as opposed to necessarily what you're hearing. But it sounds great. I think it's important to keep the lightness. There's so many of you, and there's so much overlapping texture, and I know we've talked about it this week, but it's like you pop a cork and there's this effervescence that's happening. And so especially in the sanctuary, effervescence and shortness doesn't mean hard. It doesn't mean a release that doesn't resonate, right? It doesn't mean it's but it just has this aeration to it that can keep it aloft. Otherwise, it sort of gets a little logy and grounded. I wonder if we could just do, I don't know. Why don't we do the trio sonata? Why don't we start when you both come in, if that's okay? Was that where you had the counting thing, or was that a different place?
Yeah.
Then let's do it. Yeah, give it another shot. Exactly.
Yeah.
Could we, just to try to get some of this aeration into it, could we start in the same place, but let's just do it with Jack. Just the two of you and Jack. So just oboe, violin, and Jack. So. I think you could dig in a little bit more, I think, to give just experiment. We can always be like, no, stop that. But just make it, pretend like this is actually how it's written and you've got to hold down the continuo just yourself. Just to, not heavy, but just like, boom, boom, like just with a little bit more, less polite, I guess. Does that make sense?
I think so.
Maybe?
Yeah.
Okay, even if it doesn't, it's fine. Try this again, just the three of you. It really could be jazz, right? It really sounds very jazz, I think, personally. So it's fun. So boom, boom. I don't know, have some fun with it, but keep that space. I feel like I want to hear more space amidst the busyness of the texture. So it's almost like I want to hear that even when everything else is going on. Could we just add Matthew to that mix? Now let's add but keep it I still want to hear the three of them almost more than anybody else. Just keep that skeleton there. now let's add, and then add our final piece. And again, it's almost like, if you get the right tempo and you get the motion in, it kind of plays itself. So you have to let the momentum of the measures like take you forward. It should never feel weighted, right? It should never feel like a Brian and I were talking about this, like a Cadillac from the 70s. It's like very low to the ground. And when you go over a bump, this might date me, and none of you they don't make cars like this anymore. But it was like the gas guzzling where it's like you get in the car and you go over a bump and it's like that kind of thing. We don't want that. We want everything to be like percolating. Yeah, okay. Yeah, just to add the last of the texture. Great. Yeah, and when you come in for a landing, it doesn't have to be like it's just the end. It's not like the end. It's just like ba 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 beep ba 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 beep. You can just come in for a graceful landing. Do you know what I mean? It just don't overthink it. So just before we move on from this area, can I do something that might make you uncomfortable, more uncomfortable than you are? But could we just try? They'll all follow you because they know exactly what you have. But what if we just come here, just for a minute, just pretend. Yeah, this is just come up here for just a minute. Just pretend like this is, the Elgar cello concerto or something, and you're there, just for fun, just to feel what it feels like to be like that. So then start from the beginning. Let's try it. And
the very beginning?
yeah, sure, right? You've got stuff there.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go over here just a little bit. Yeah, and don't worry about them. They're going to follow you because they're brilliant continuo players. How does it feel to be up here? Feel weird? I know. So what if you were not yourself, right? What if you were playing a part, right? You're an actress and you're doing something, and I want you to do something that you think is really over the top and not pretty. Just something that's overdone. You know what I mean? Tackily too much sound. Dig in really loud and pretend like you're just being a jerk as a chamber player, right? Okay, just try it. Just try it. Okay. You're not yourself, right? You're someone else. You're someone that's you probably don't want to be, but we're going to pretend to be. Someone who plays a rock band. Yeah, like banger. Like be like, you do that. Yeah. Channel that. Like the 70s music you were saying in your Uber about like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Obviously, this is not a metal band. It's not, it's got to be joy. We've got to be exuberant. But I honestly don't think that was like totally too much. Like, I don't know what people thought out there, but I thought it was, look at all the thumbs up out there. Like, and I think, seriously, I mean, Bach it's a banger of a piece. Like, it's really, it's, right? I mean, it's joyous and stuff like that, but like, channel that, like, whatever you channeled to get that was so great. Really good, because it was confident, but it was awesome. Like, it just, like, I really think in your head, see the lights and the drums and the whatever, all that, because it could so easily go with a rock track, and it wasn't too much. Like, it was awesome, really. And then that helps everybody. It helps Lydia feel confident, helps the continuo feel confident. It helps everybody. They're waiting like 50 measures to come in, and then that way they can like get absorbed. So it's like, if you don't want it to be about you, make it about them and be like, I'm going to give this to them, and I'm going to bring it. I'm going to bring it and rock it. And that was so good. It was awesome. So congratulations. All right, let's clear for the next one. All right. Now for something completely different. Like, Like, just because why not? You know, you can do something different later. But let's get together. So we're switching instruments, right? Okay. New score. Woo. Jamor. So this is, you know, the whole, obviously, theme is parody. This is the only aria where you'll, oh, sorry, I should let you tune. God. Close enough for jazz?
Sure, yeah.
So this is the only aria on the program where you'll actually hear the parody as well, right? Is that right? So which is kind of great. We're not going to do the other one tonight, obviously, but you'll hear the original one on which this was parodied, which is originally scored for 2 flutes, a totally different color, totally different texture. So I'm excited for everybody to hear it on Sunday because it really is remarkable to hear them on the same program. But for now, take it away.
Erleuchte mein Herz durch dir Strahl.
So beautiful. Would you read the text?
Yes.
I forgot to ask.
Illuminate as well my
Okay.
dark thoughts. Illuminate my heart. Through the rays of your clear brilliance, your word shall be to me the brightest candle in all my works. This lets the soul not evil begin.
Thank you. So even in just this short sort of, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines or whatever, we have illuminate, brilliance, brightest candle, so much about light, which I know has been the subject of much conversation this week. I feel like with this aria especially, and I'm not saying it's happening, but I think this one, there is a danger of, with this much coaching, to have it sound overstudied. And I feel like now is the time to just let it go and let it, especially I think in continuo and especially in your part. It sounds so beautiful, Will, and you're just emoting your face. Everything about you is just illuminated, which is exactly what it should be. I feel like, I know you're sort of far apart, but I'd love to have, because I mean, I know that you could probably look up and interact a little bit more so that there is more of a dialogue. I really think you could. I have to take the microphone so people can hear, but Chris, I know the answer to this, and most people in here do, but some do not. What is the instrument that you're playing?
It's the oboe d'amore, the oboe of love.
When did you start, when did you first play an oboe d'amore?
Last week.
And is it your oboe d'amore?
No, it's the Emmanuel's.
That's right, it's Jen Slowik's.
Jen Slowik's.
Yeah.
oboe d'amore.
So not only is Chris learning a new instrument this week, but also playing an instrument that is not his own. And so I think it's remarkable that in this short amount of time, you can sound so expressive and so beautiful on it. So
Thank you.
I think, yes. So, and to that point, I think you can do even more. And I still feel, maybe it's just this room, but I just want you to be closer somehow. Just or come, I mean, come over here too. Yeah, like just a little bit. I mean, why not play around with it? We don't always have the luxury here. I can take that. So I'd love you to. You don't have to do the whole thing again, but just play a little bit and just kind of just let go, and have it just sort of have its own sense of buoyancy, I guess. I mean, it's such a perfect piece for this season, the season where it's sort of the light is starting to come back, but it's not back yet, and we're looking for hope in all kinds of areas of things and of life. And so I feel like anytime that you have, anybody has anything that shimmers or sparkles, I think, to bring it out. But again, if it's a staccato, it's not a closed staccato, it's not a hard staccato, it's not hail, right? It's the glistening that you see when there's a fresh snowfall and you open up your window and maybe it's not quite light yet, but you just see the sparkle of the ice, flecks on the snow. You know what I mean? And so it's still dark, but there's this lightness that's infused. So I think it's not harsh, but it's just got to have this. And I think you can just enjoy it. You're all such beautiful musicians, and I think now you can just give yourself permission to to be yourselves in this, right? So just start again. So that I don't tire you all out. So there's so many moments in this aria where there's a sustained figure in the voice and then a moving figure, you know, where you have a long line. There are these sort of interlocking lines, and I feel like you can. Where was I looking at it in here? Chris, you can definitely feel like you can don't taper back, don't start. You can always make a longer line or go forward, right? And some of it I realize might be breath, and some of it might, but I feel like sometimes we phrase off in Bach. Like, so many moments are so beautiful that we want to make a meal out of every single one of them, and sometimes a meal has many courses, and so you don't want to just have, like, you know, soup as the main thing. You want it, it's like soup, and then there's a roast, and then there's dessert, and then like there's an after something, cheese, I don't know, coffee. So it's like sometimes you just want to like continue it. You don't want it just to have to be like, you know, something short. So I feel like sometimes we get taken with the music and then we forget that we can actually extend it a little bit longer. But I also thought, like, everyone should be exhausted after each one of these arias. Maybe you already are, the singers probably are. But it's like, if you're engaged the right way, it's gonna take every fiber of your concentration and being to play this music, right? If you feel like you're just sort of on auto, I'm not saying you are, but if it feels comfortable and it feels like you could just play forever, then we're sort of not really doing it right. You know, we're not like super engaged. Like it should really feel like, oh, by the end of it, I'm sure I'm not in the right key, but it's like everything leads to something else. And so it should be that like exhausting to play, right? Like every moment. And what's beautiful about these is that every single part is so important to that fabric. right? I'm curious to know this is a slightly different subject in the time that we have, but I've asked Sebastian this in the car, what are your relationships to performance? Like, this is a hard aria to do. Sometimes the faster ones, if we're nervous, we can kind of hide in the busyness of the texture and hide in the speed, but sometimes when it's slow and expressive like this, there's not a lot of room to compensate or cope with any sort of, so I'm just curious to know, like, what your relationship is to performance. Do you find that you kind of, do you get nervous? Do you have anxiety? How do you just kind of cope with it? Do you perform up, down? I don't know.
I wish I didn't get nervous, but I do. And the way I deal with it, at least in this context, is no offense to the audience, but I kind of block you guys out a little bit.
None taken.
And I just sort of picture it's just me, continuo, and Bach is sort of just in my mind. And that's it, you know? So.
See, Bach would intimidate me. I don't want Bach anywhere near this. Yeah.
Well, that's sort of how I picture myself as I perform.
I love that. You know, it's funny that you say you wish you didn't get nervous, because I wonder, I feel like sometimes I always want to clarify that statement, because it may be that you just don't want the nervousness to not be able to allow yourself to represent what you can do.
Absolutely.
But the nerves, like that energy that comes, the adrenaline that comes, is kind of valuable. It's just that, I guess it makes us feel alive, but we never want to not be able to represent ourselves well, right? That's terrible when you put all this work. So I love that you put your focus in that way. How about everybody, can we go around and just see what you think? I think it's on, yeah, you just have to.
Great. Well.
But you have to speak up because it's not actually.
Oh yeah. I think when I get nervous, it really depends how nervous I am and like what I'm performing. So like I also play piano and harpsichord, and like when I'm performing, for example, from memory, which you do a lot on piano when it's solo, then I get very nervous. But like performing with others, I love playing with others, and it's just like, oh, I want to, like we're all gonna do our best, and I just want us all to sound good. So then I'm more focused on that, and I get less nervous. But then right now, I'm playing continuo, and I'm not that familiar with playing continuo on organ, and I'm just looking at figures, and I'm very nervous. So I don't know, I just try to like really focus, and also just remember to listen and everything, because sometimes if you focus too much on like, okay, just don't mess it up, then you mess it up. So
always.
If I focus on everyone else, then that tends to help, and then I'm not thinking about being nervous either.
That's great too.
Yeah. I'm going to change my answer since we talked, actually.
Oh, you're not allowed to change your answer.
I feel really differently in different moods about this. I feel like I've had throughout my life, whether I've had problems with nerves or not, has evolved a lot, and like, it's definitely something I've developed more problems with it as I kind of got more serious, which I think comes from being more connected and invested in what you're playing and how you're playing it, and being more aware of how you're playing also. And really, what helps me a lot right now is, Sophia mentioned listening when you're nervous, and I always really like that, listening and seeing myself in a support role, kind of no matter what kind of performance it is, really helps you focus on stuff kind of outside yourself and how you're feeling, and that really helps play in a more extroverted and controlled way, but I don't always follow through on that, so you know,
it's
a work in
ongoing
process.
journey, absolutely.
Yeah, performance anxiety has been kind of like a roller coaster for me. I've had periods where I'm just like, I feel like I'm on top of the world, and then other times where I'm like, I'll tune the wrong note by accident because I'm just not even, I'm not present. And so, yeah, like earlier today, I kind of had this realization. It's kind of weird that everyone's saying the same thing because it's like we all have a Bluetooth in our brain, because it's like that's our sixth sense. Because I'm realizing the more I tune out of, is that in tune? Did you taper that note properly? And just enjoy what everyone around me is doing, because I know I trust them immediately. Like I'm lightened up, I'm freed, you know. So that's really big. But to be fair, if this is working well, usually I feel better. But the second I'm fussing over it, it's a disaster.
Oh, no.
Personally, but that's just me.
Do you? This is a dumb. I know you need that, and I don't. Because I have a thing. I have a mic on me. This is probably an ignorant question on my part, but did you actually have to make different reeds for this instrument, or can you use similar reeds?
Yeah, you just
totally different.
You just make a different reed, yeah, but it's fine. You just do it.
Which sometimes I wish I could make different lips, but that doesn't work.
The grass is always greener.
Always greener. I know. I always envied like oboists, like with their little workstation, and I was like, that'd be so. And every time I tell an oboist that, they're like, no, hours of my life are spent at that workstation. But it just seems so fun to whittle away, but I don't have to do it.
It has its ups and downs, you know.
True. It's true.
When I made this reed, that was in like 10 minutes, and I thought I was like the man. And then I couldn't make oboe reed. I made like 10 duds. So, you know, it really just it comes with the trade. You just highs and lows. It's
the life of ups and downs of the oboe. So you can keep it.
Oh, sure. Okay.
It sounds beautiful, and I love everything you said about sort of listening. And the common thread is this trust, and sort of it not necessarily it being about the group. One of the things I love about these arias in this music is that it's a chamber ensemble, obviously, but there has to be so much trust and there's so much dialogue, and the listening, it helps me. I mean, I've definitely struggled with performance anxiety all the time, but this kind of music, it helped because it isn't about me. I always feel like I may not be comfortable, but it's okay. I can play when I'm not comfortable, and I can still do my job, and I can still be there for the singer and the continuum and everything else. And I think that's when we sort of say, I wish I wasn't nervous. Sometimes I've had to flip that for myself and be like, okay, I am always going to be nervous, and I'm never going to be totally comfortable in performance. But that's okay. I can still represent myself well. I can still do my job. I can still play well even when I'm nervous or comfortable. And somehow for me that gave me permission to be nervous and not feel like, oh, the nerves are coming, that's it, you know. And you can still kind of do it. When you started that second time, I don't know how anyone else felt, but to me it felt much freer and much more, oh, like we can just do this, you know. You don't have to be so studied about it, you know. It sounded really illuminated. So I thought it was beautiful. Is there, this is your sort of, before the dress rehearsal, is there anything you want to do again in this aria? Or do you feel like we're good?
That one spot? Y'all know. 110. I breathed, I'm sorry. I took the breath.
Not to take in coaching?
Yeah, it's
been a thing. All right. But can I also say that, and I bet I could speak for Ryan and Pamela too, that like if you take it in performance, that's okay. Like,
oh yeah.
Okay. Sure. All right. They're not gonna like. I mean, try not to, obviously, or I'll get probably. Well, I can't get fired by you. So. Charlie is the only one who can fire me. That's right. So do it the way you'd like to, because this is a great opportunity to try to get things the way you feel most comfortable. So what did you say, 110? Means nothing.
Well, the 16's lined up, I was like it's fine. 110 works.
Is that the play out? That's just the play out? No, I just can't read. Go ahead. Oh, there it is. you do what you wanted to do?
Yeah, definitely.
You know, there's a wonderful, it may not have been her expression, but Iva Milch is a wonderful flutist in town. She was the second flutist in Boston Lyric and in Boston Ballet for decades. And I remember the first time I got called, I went in and I was like practicing and like trying to make a good impression. And she turned to me and she just said, you know, Vanessa, if you pick at it, it will never heal. And so, and then she laughed, and she was right, because I was going over the same passage and going over, and what she meant was like, it's okay, it's gonna heal, it's gonna be beautiful. Yeah, it sounds fantastic, really. So so I think you guys aren't in the hot seat anymore. Does anybody have any questions about anything, really? Matthew?
I was wondering what's the difference in terms of playing the oboe and this modified oboe.
I know, I said sorry.
Yeah, it's like if the oboe is a soprano, then this is like the tenor, or then this is the alto, and then the English horn is the tenor. So this is kind of in between, and you only see it in Bach and then Bolero. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. But it's the same instrument. I mean, like when you play English horn, it's like playing the oboe, but you're processing the air differently in that. I'm like, I think nasally kind of when I'm playing this, and it's really awkward at first. And the reeds are wider. It's literally this like baby between the English horn and the oboe. And so you kind of are like tuning into English horn, the way you're blowing through an English horn, which is, you know, it's literally a bigger instrument than the oboe, but it also has that like potential to be the screechy oboe if you let it. So but it's kind of supposed to sound like wooden and rustic because that's the music that it's playing, and you're dancing between elegance and rustic at all times, which is kind of punching each other, sorry.
Like the middle child syndrome?
Yeah, it's a bad middle child, for sure. But the oboe is the worst, for sure, you know.
The firstborn.
Yeah, the firstborn delinquent, I guess. I don't know.
Does anyone else have any other questions? No? Thank you all. Oh, yes, Lydia. Yes. Sorry, you can walk around.
I haven't really formulated it yet, so I'm going to kind of improvise, but I'm wondering how you, like, I feel like when I approach a new piece, I have like some instinctual feeling about how to express it or how to portray it or how to sing it. And then when I get into a room with like teachers, coaches who know a lot about music, they give me like all these insights of things I would never have thought about on my own. And then so like what you were talking about being very like concentrated in a performance and trying to get away from that like, oh, I have to do this and this and this thing that my coach told me to do. Like, how do you get to the place of like, I guess, I don't know, coming up with your own ideas and feeling like confident that they're enough? Yeah, I don't know if that makes any sense, but.
No, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, I think first of all, every single one of you, I mean, I heard many of the very first coaching sessions, and I don't think anybody came in here without any ideas. Like everybody came in here with ideas. And a lot of them were really, you know, they might have been different ideas than me or Pamela or Ryan. And then, you know, obviously you're coming here because this music is not as familiar to you. So the difference really is just that we've all been immersed in this music and studied it for a long time. And so we've seen sort of some things that work and the relation with the text and everything else. So, I mean, that's sort of it. But no one came in here without any of their own ideas, you know what I mean? But I think that's something where you have ideas, and I think with all of us, we just try them and we see what works and what doesn't work. And you know, you can absorb our ideas, but I mean, I said this to Ying in our first one-on-one session on flute. I was like, you know, I'm going to tell you how I would play these arias. These are the ideas that I've come up with. you can try them. Why don't you try them for this institute? But then when you leave, take what works and what doesn't. I think all of you should give yourself permission. Everybody here, took an audition and were accepted into this program, and you all have the capability of making decisions for yourself. So you can listen to everything you've heard this week and decide what you like, what you don't like, and that'll be right for you. So you're already there, right? You're just here to kind of learn some ideas from people that have just been doing this longer, So it's like you're already there, and then when you do something for a long time, you'll have ideas. I always feel like for masterclasses or coaching, my biggest fear is like I'm not going to have anything to say, that I won't have any ideas, because it's just as intimidating for us as it might be for you. But then I'm like, oh, actually, I do have ideas, and I think you have ideas, and they're good. Some might work for some things and some might not, but you're already at that point, right? And it doesn't end. Like every time I pull out one of these arias and I see my markings on them, and I'm like, I don't agree with any of these, and they were my ideas, my breath, I'm like, no, who would breathe there, and so then I exit out and I do it, and it's just an ongoing process, and that's kind of the beauty of it, right, is that we can continually evolve and continually bring ourselves to it. So how you might sing this now might be different than how you sing it later, right? But you're not going to not be able to sing it later because, you haven't got it. I don't know, does that help? Does that sort of answer it? Like, I just feel like, I think that's, when we're in school, we sort of keep thinking we're never going to be able to do this. I mean, you're not in school, but like in our early professional lives, like, oh, how can we do this ourselves? But you kind of already are, and you're just going to keep doing it. It's great. Thank you, everybody. This is great. I think it's already on.
It's already on.
Yeah.
So thank you, Vanessa. This was fascinating.
It's all these guys.
Really providing a kind of window into the endlessly fascinating search into what this music is asking of us and how we, with whatever our tools are, find the solution. So I think that was so inspiring. I just want to wrap up by inviting you to the final events of the Bach Institute. Saturday morning, the orchestra will be rehearsing at 11:30. And we are doing a piece that we, I think, have never done or very rarely done, which is one of Bach's Lutheran masses, the G major Mass. And I'm very proud to say that our Bach Institute fellows will be integrated into the ensemble and will be stepping up to do solo roles in the rehearsal and also in the Sunday cantata presentation. At 1 p.m., Ryan and I will be discussing the Mass, and if this is a piece that's unfamiliar to you, you may be particularly interested in coming to hear that discussion. All of these will also be on the live stream. And then the grand finale, Sunday evening, 7 p.m. in the sanctuary, the showcase concert, where you'll get to hear all of the repertoire that we've been working on and judge for yourself how magnificent our 2026 crop of Bach Institute fellows are.
But they won't really be judging you. They'll just be enjoying it.
Appreciate it.
Yay! Beautiful job.